Welcome, folks. Today I wanted to talk about the importance of starting small. Now, this is maybe not necessarily be anything that's really revolutionary. Like, we all know to start small. You've seen those cute Instagram captions that say, like every journey starts off with a single step. You should start off with a crawl, then you begin to walk, then you begin to run, right? You see all these quotes and you're like, ha, these are cute. Double tap, I like this one. But it's easier to conceptualize this idea than it is to live it. Because when you think about people who are high performers, when you think about people who are like doing incredible things, you got to understand that they don't just get to that level like like that overnight. It starts off with building consistency, and it starts off with building your capacity, your ability to do things over time. Now, if you're in a position where you're trying to set like new habits and you're not sticking to them, like you're really intense about it at the beginning, and then you burn out, and then you tell yourself, I can't do it anymore, it's normally because what you're trying to do right now is too much. You need to start off smaller. You need to build your capacity. You don't have the capacity to do the thing that you want to do just yet. It's not been built. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like when you start at the gym. Like, all of us have been this. If you're like a gym goer, especially if you're a guy. When you're a guy and you start at the gym, there's this tendency where you're like, you know what? I want to be big and jacked. I want to be big and jacked straight away. I remember just a few weeks ago, me and my friend Nina were in the gym. We saw these guys training. Like, clearly they were newbies. They were brand new to the gym, but they were just lifting dangerously. We've all been there, man. You gotta allow people to run their course. But I remember they're the little bodies. They're busy picking up the 50 kg dumbbells and they're trying to shoulder press them. So that one of them flicked it up like that, and then his friend grabbed his elbows and was like, ah! Right. He's busy pushing and his back's busy bending. The other guy who's holding the dumbbells is like, ah! trying to make sure the dumbbells don't crush his face. Right. They were lifting dangerously, right? Lifting dangerously. Then my friend Nino went over to them, confronted them, and told them, yo, guys, don't do that again. It's dangerous. So I'm sure they continued, and I've not seen them since. So I'm convinced that they've hurt themselves. But the main point and the main anecdote I'm trying to get at is that those guys were trying to do too much too soon, and we're all guilty of it. You're doing too much too soon. And when you try to do too much too soon, you get hurt, right? You get burnt out and you get disappointed. Right? Sometimes you got to put down the 50s and start off with the 10s, right? Pick up the 10s and do the reps with what you can, and then build it over time. Because what a lot of us do is we often overestimate what can be achieved in a year, but underestimate what can be achieved in a decade of time. Right? You tend to value intensity over consistency. Consistency is better. So I've got an idea for you. If you're in a position where you're not able to do the things that you want to do, you've not built the capacity just yet, start off from what I think that I call ground zero. So when I talk about ground zero, we're talking about you changing your barometer for what success is in this present moment. So I'll give you guys an example. Right? Let's say you're in a position where I want to start going to the gym consistently. I want to start journaling consistently. I want to start reading consistently. What do I do? Rather than setting a goal, saying I'm going to read for 30 minutes a day, even though you're not reading right now, what you can do for this week, a goal that you can set for yourself is, my goal for this week, my barometer for success is just showing up. So if I want to read, my barometer for today is just to open the book. That's success. To journal for today, okay, sit down and open your journal. That's it. That's success. I want to get myself to the gym and train 5 times this week. Success for you is just get yourself in the building. Get yourself in the building. Now, this may sound super stupid, and your ego may be telling you, no, Josh, I can do it. I know I can journal. I know I can read for 30 minutes. I know I can do it. But if you're not doing it right, clearly it's not working. Right? If you're not doing anything, the first thing is to lower the barometer for what success is. So just show up. Just show up. Now, the reason why I say you should just show up just for this week to begin with is that number one, when you do show up, more than likely when you do show up, you're probably going to want to do more. So once you open your book to begin to start reading, right, you may read a page or two and get into it and you think, I quite like this book, and you read a little bit and then you feel good about yourself. Fantastic. Success. Right? Journaling. Oh, I've opened the book. I'm here now. I might as well start journaling. It's an easy barometer for success. But even if you don't feel like it, you don't have to. You just have to show up. You need to get easy wins, because easy wins are what build momentum. And when you build momentum, it's easier to carry on the habits, because right now, you're probably not even showing up to do your journaling. You're probably not even doing any reading. You're not even getting yourself there, and you're probably not even going to the gym. So you just want to build the habit of getting yourself in that position and then build it over time, because these are habits that we want to build for the rest of your life. We're trying to do this long term. We're not trying to do this for for a week and then burn out and then not like change our lives. It's consistency that changes your life, not intensity. So you just need to show up, because in showing up you build momentum. So for this week, the barometer is just showing up. If you feel like doing more, fantastic, you can. If not, it's all right. We've got an easy win. The next week, increase the barometer for success by 10 seconds, right? So this week I just showed up. Next week, it's just 10 seconds of reading, 10 seconds of journaling, 10 seconds of being in the gym, right? And then you build it up the next week by 10 seconds, 20 seconds of reading, 20 seconds journaling, compound and build it up by 10 seconds each week. Now, the reason why I say this is because, one, when you're doing this, you're probably going to want to do more. But two, as well, we're progressively overloading things. You're progressively overloading. And as you continue to progressively overload, you get to a point where you find your sweet spot and you can stay there. But we just need you to engage in the action consistently over time. Because this is how momentum works, right? In physics, they have a law. The first of Newton's law is what we call the law of inertia. So the law of inertia basically says that objects that are at rest tend to remain at rest, but objects that are in motion tend to remain in motion and tend to also sometimes pick up speed. So what exactly does that mean, right? I've just said a whole bunch of science jargon to you. What does that mean? So it means that once you get going, it's easier to keep going. It's kind of like when you watch powerlifters. You know when they get like the straps, and the straps are tied to a bus and they have to like run and pull the bus. What happens is that when they officially begin, it's really hard to pull the bus. They're busy trying to pull the bus. They've got their knee sleeves on and they're like, the knees are bending out of shape and they're like, but like blood vessels popping out from the side of their heads. They're going red. But then after like the first like 3 or 4 big hard steps, the bus begins to move, and then they begin to start moving faster and faster and faster. And then they get to the finish line and they get to the point where they have to quickly pull off the straps before the bus hits them, right? Because they've managed to pick up momentum, and as they pick up momentum, they begin to gather speed and the bus begins to move faster and faster and faster, and it takes less exertion to drag the bus. It's the same thing with you. Once you get moving, it's easier to keep moving. But the challenge that you have right now is that you're not moving at all. So we just need you to get moving. You just need to do a little bit. So you want to set the barometer for success for yourself really nice and low, so it's easy for you to get the win, because those easy wins begin to stack up. And as those easy wins begin to stack up, your self-perception of yourself begins to change, because you begin to perceive yourself as a type of person who will get things done. You get things done. It feels good when you've got your habit tracker and you're busy ticking the boxes like, yeah, I did my meditation today. Yeah, I journaled today. Yeah, I went to the gym today. Right? You feel fantastic. Like, there's no greater feeling than being the type of person who keeps their word, who keeps your promises to yourself. But you got to start off small. You can't be trying to do too much. Too much is burning you out. Consistency is always better than intensity. So that's the idea for today. So for the things that you are struggling to do, struggling to be consistent with, start off from ground zero. Right? So ground zero is just showing up. Barometer for success for this week is just showing up. Right? You show up, you tick the box, fantastic. You want to clean your room's a mess and it's too much energy to do so. You know what? Just show up. Just stand up and get the Hoover ready and plug it into the wall. That's success right there. You start off small and then you build it up over time. And then before you know it, your life will transform and change. So that's the idea for today. You guys take care, and I'll be back again soon. Peace and love. Bye-bye.